Hey everyone, COE33 here with another game room tour for you. And today we're going to take a look at the original Game Boy collection, which I'm looking forward to. Oh, and by the way, guys, look at this. We just got some new vintage Bose speakers for the turntable setup. If you follow the channel for a while, you know this setup has gone through a few different iterations. And I was at Goodwill the other day, and I found these for dirt cheap, and they sound great and they're in good shape. So I went ahead and replaced the speakers that we had here, so definitely stoked on that. And surprisingly enough, we haven't shared the original Game Boy collection. It's definitely one of Leaf and I's favorite systems to play and to collect for. And the cool thing about this is that we both kind of have a history with the original Game Boy. Growing up, we had one, and we hauled that, or I know I did, certainly I hauled it all around with me. I loved that thing. I loved playing the Game Boy. I loved collecting Game Boy games. And I'm looking forward to sharing this with you. And then when I was done with my Game Boy, at some point, I ended up getting a Sega Nomad. And when I got my Sega Nomad, the Game Boy all of a sudden kind of got neglected, so I gave it to Leaf, and she hauled this around with her. Now, this is not our original setup, but the cool thing about this is we had this exact case growing up. And as a young boy, I used to carry this around with me everywhere. And so that would be with me at like school, and if we would go anywhere, like on a vacation. And I loved it. And I almost have all the games that I used to have growing up. There's still a couple that I'm looking for. And why don't we get right into it? Alright guys, here we are with the original Game Boy. So we picked up this case at Portland Retro Gaming Expo. And we got a heck of a deal on it. And it was really exciting. I remember having fun hauling this around the expo and being pretty excited that we got such a good deal on it and to have this original case back in the collection after all these years, and definitely have fond memories of this thing. So why don't we take a look at the collection? So here we are. So this is almost the exact setup that I had as a kid. Now I'm missing a couple things. I believe it's called a light boy. It's like a magnifying glass and there's a light on it, and it goes right here. And I need to track one of those down because that will kind of complete the set. But here's our Game Boy, and it's in really good shape, and it works great, and it's kind of cool. It's got this little Nintendo repair sticker on the back here for maintenance or service. Call that number. And I really enjoy playing on this thing even now, even though, you know, it's got the kind of dim screen, and it's definitely very old school, this old brick Game Boy. But I love it, and it's nice to have an original Game Boy in the collection. And then there's a spot for the batteries here, which is kind of cool. And we have some cleaning tools, which are handy if you want to clean out the contacts. And that's kind of nice to have. And this is the spot for the Light Boy, which we'll get at some point. And let's get into the games. So here is one of my favorites, and that's Super Mario Land. And this was the first game I picked up back in the day when this came out. I got this, and I put so many hours into this game. I absolutely love it, and I even enjoy it now. It's a great game. And then another game that Leaf and I had growing up is Kirby's Dream Land, and this is excellent. This is a really good game, and one of the better games on the system in my opinion. And yeah, just lots of fond memories playing that. So awesome. And of course, one of the great classic games of all time, one of the best-selling games of all time, and that's the original Tetris. And this was quite the phenomenon back in the day. This was definitely, everyone had Tetris, and everyone was playing Tetris, and holds up even now. A lot of fun. Another game that I used to have, that's RoboCop 2. And this game's really hard, but I had it back in the day. I enjoyed it. And I haven't played it in a while. I need to play this again to see if it holds up now. I'm not sure. One of my favorite cartoons growing up was Ren and Stimpy. And when this came out, I had to have it because I was such a big fan of Ren and Stimpy. And it's definitely it's a fun game. Another one that's pretty, it's kind of difficult if I remember correctly. But it's a fun platformer. Okay, now I did not have this game originally, but we do now, and that's Yoshi, and I actually have not played this yet. So this is definitely one that I gotta play. Now normally, we used to have this whole setup in the game room here, where we're in right now. But a couple weeks ago, Leaf and I were like, well, it's a Nintendo handheld. This should be in your Nintendo handheld gaming zone. So this little setup lives in Leaf's room now. But we both enjoy playing it, and it's definitely a system that we both enjoy picking up games for. And then we got Zelda, Link's Awakening, awesome. Pokemon Red, pretty sweet. Picked this one up at a garage sale for $1. Conker's Pocket Tales, cool. And then this was a gift from a viewer of the channel, Mega Man Extreme, so really stoked to have that. And we got some more games here. We got Kid Icarus, awesome. Super Chase HQ, sweet. Paperboy, Leaf and I love Paperboy, another one that we had and played a lot back in the day, both this version and the version on the Genesis. And then I used to play this in the arcade as well. And that's kind of fun because it's got like the arcade cabinet, the dedicated arcade cabinet for Paperboy has handlebars for the controller, for the controls, and it's kind of a fun little way to play Paperboy. And it's a great classic game. Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle 2. Alleyway, a lot of fun, kind of like an Arkanoid game, Brick Breaker, there we go. And, oh, look at that. I hadn't even noticed that. Oh, that's cool. It's got the codes on the back. That's pretty nifty. And I enjoy this style of gameplay. And, you know, they've got a little Mario there. It's one of the Game Boy games that features a little cameo for Mario. So that's kind of fun. Let's see what else we got here. Donkey Kong, classic. Batman, Return of the Joker, sweet. Tiny Toon Adventures, Bab's Big Break, another cartoon that Leaf and I watched a lot. Pac-Man. And Miss Pac-Man. And then underneath here, we got some more games. Golf, another game that features Mario. And then a viewer of the channel, Armand, just gave this to us, Power Quest, and it's a Sunsoft game. I haven't played this, but I'm looking forward to checking this out because Sunsoft was making good games back in the day, and this looks pretty cool just from the artwork there. So definitely curious to check that out. And that's our Game Boy collection, guys. We also have some booklets here, some manuals. We got Aladdin, we got Kicks, and Super Chase HQ manual, so that's kind of cool. The games that we're still looking for would be Lock and Chase, because Leaf and I both really enjoyed playing that for the Game Boy. And then the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I forget which one it was, if it was, I think it was 2 for the Game Boy that we had and really enjoyed playing. But for the most part, we're, you know, if we get the Light Boy and those couple games, we'll have the exact little setup that we had back in, oh, I don't know, what, 1989, 1990, I guess? I'm not sure what year this came out in. Let's see if it says on the back here. 1989, yeah, and we picked one up probably in 89. So definitely fond memories of that. Alright guys, so that's our Game Boy collection. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, bye.